This is Dirshu Mishna Berurah as we continue learning Hilchos Kriyas HaTorah Siman Kof Lamed Zayin. We're in the middle of Sif Gimel. At the end of Sif Gimel, we're discussing what happens if someone, in Sif Gimel, we're discussing what happens if someone skips a pasuk. And we discussed the difference between Monday and Thursday, Shabbos to Mincha, whereas Shabbos itself. When it came to Shabbos itself, we learned that any sort of skip is going to require you to go back at any time that there is, whereas Monday and Thursday is not the same. And we concluded with the Mechaber that says, Parshas HaMoyadim, Kamayim b'Mincha, v'Shabbos, v'Sheni, v'Chamishi. Yom Tiv has the status with regard to if you skip and you have to go back. Dinam is like Shabbos, Mincha, and Sheni, v'Chamishi, and Monday, Thursday. Why? Because we already laying the parshas, and we're already starting to formulate in our mind that there's really two parts of Kriyas HaTorah. We have the Kriyas HaTorah, the Takana that we spoke about from Moshe Rabbeinu, to read on Monday, Thursday, to read Shabbos to Mincha, etc. And then there's the Kriyas HaTorah that every word of Torah has to be read throughout the year. So that second entity, which is the Kriyas HaTorah of Shabbos, that's why if you're missing something, you got to go back, because you don't have every part of Torah. So similarly, we're learning that when it comes to Yom Tiv, it has the same status as Monday, Thursday, Shabbos, Mincha. Why? Because, as well, you already laid the parsha during the year. So says the Mishnah Berurah, Sivkatan Yudal of Dinam Kemai, Umari Shal Kopanim Karel Chamishi Gavri Shalish Psukim L'Cholech. We're talking about that you laid 5 aliyos, and every person got his 3 psukim. That's what we're referring to, and then you just missed the pasuk. Kedin. If that was not the case, certainly we'd have to go back. Meaning, and this is another detail that really we spoke about at length in the previous year, is that there's the basic takana. There's the 5 aliyos in Yom Tif, there's the 7 aliyos in Shabbos, the 3 pesukim per aliyah. That needs to be fulfilled irregardless of everything else. Now we have the fact, what if you missed a pasuk? Magen Avram Shekasav continues Mishnah Berurah. Do I didn't deal against the pasuk me psukim shekarim b'sefer Torah shniya lemaftir avor chavis hayom. Of course, in every yantiv we have maftir, which is the reading for that day. So if you skip from that reading, then you psukim karban musaf sheino chayzi, you don't have to go back. Unless you miss the main part of the psukim. The hainu b'shabbos yirbai b'echad echol hamayit sukkah shekarim lemaftir b'yom hasheni v'chav yom hashlishi v'udili gu b'yom hashlishi. You missed the whole yom hashlishi. Of course, this is going that you add on Sukkot. You do Yom Sheni, Yom Shlishi, etc. So you said Yom Sheni, but today is Yom HaShlishi, so you didn't say today. If you did not read it all, and therefore you have to go back. Let's say you just did Yom HaShlishi. Then says the Mishnah Berurah, open the Sefer Torah, read these psukim by the Tzibur B'loi Bracha. Adds on Eli Rab. Sometimes even one pasuk you have to go back. If that pasuk had the ikar of the day, you missed the pasuk of ikraftem. From there onward, that's not the actual chiv, but vikraftem is the chiv. Similarly, b'yom al shel sukkis, the pasuk of ikraftem, not sefer parsha. So the Mishnah Berurah here is adding up the Eli Rabbah. Even though we just said that when it comes to Yom Tov, if you skip a pasuk, you do not have to go back. Says the Mishnah Berurah, that's only if you skip the non-integral, or as integral, we should call it part of the Kriya. But if you miss the Kriya itself, that pasuk v'kraftem, you're going to have to go back. It finally concludes this Mishnah Berurah. Share Ephraim. We continue with Sif Dalet. Says the Mechaber, if you only read 2 psukim, you have to go again. If in some you didn't get your some 10 psukim, but rather you only have 9, then you do not have to go back. We've seen this already. Parshas Ha'amolik Amkara Pachs Mitisha, then Shrichel Nachsav Likrois, then you have to go back. So explains the Mishnah Berurah, Sivkotin Yud Beis, Shnei Psukim, Av Shebina Kol Karasar Psukim, says Mishnah Berurah, 1 second. Your sum total is you had 10. Kigoyin Sheshnayim Lefan of Kara Arba Arba. Let's say 2 read 4 and then 1 read 2. Why? Din Kriya Chashuva Bepachs Mishash Psukim. Anything less than 3 Psukim is not a Kriya Chashuva. And again, we keep on seeing that the foundation, fundamental building blocks can't be negated. The 3 Psukim in Aliyah, the 10 Psukim in summation, which we'll see in almost all cases, barring the Parsha Malik, which we'll see in a moment, that cannot be switched. So what do you mean? I got the 10 psukim. Givaldik, but you missed the 3 psukim for this aliyah. Says the Taz in Shachar Shabbos, you have your 7 kuriyim, Emir Shekara Echad, Achar Zeshnei psukim. Now someone afterwards only read 2 psukim. Now Michayzer Me'aytam Shekazam has to go back. Why? Because less than 3 psukim is not a chashivos, not a kriya chashuva. Then you have to go back. So our last of Likros have gotten in Gimel Inim Bracha Lefanei Kach Dinei. But now says Mishmur 1 second. Okay, so you have to go back. Why do you have to go back? You have to go back because you didn't read your requisite 3 psukim. What about the bracha? So says Mishmur, if got in Gimel, Imadai and Lo B'Yir Achron. You didn't make the second bracha. V'Shenas Alanu Torah. Aval B'Shek Var Golal Sefer You already rolled up the Torah. Hainu B'Dait. Vayu B'Dait L'Varach. He's about to make the bracha, and then B'Nei Yizkol Shalai Karak Sheip Psukim. You remember, you only read 2 psukim. Chayzer V'Karib Lo Bracha Lefanei. You read again without a bracha. Aval. However, in Kvar Birich Bracha Achron, you already made the bracha. V'nistalik Akriya Rishon Legamri, you're done. Ulachein, so Lachs Levarach Lefanei, you need a new bracha. Lachs Lemakum Sheischa B'Kriya Kodemes, and you pick it up from where it was left off. Ki Akriya Shnei Psukim Elu Loi Alu Klau. 2 psukim does not work. V'oid Pasuk Echad Imoi Yelahashim Shei Psukim. Then you add on 1 more to get 3 psukim. B'rim Shenayim Lefanov Loi Karak Shalish Shalish. Let's say you had 3 and 3, 6. Now, someone read only 2, so what do you do now? Then you can't just read 3 psukim, because then you have 3, 3, 3, you only have 9, so you have to worry about the second din, which is the sometimes psukim that you need. Let's say you already called up the next aliyah. He has to wait till this person gets his aliyah, says his 3 psukim. And afterwards, then another person gets the aliyah. Let's say the next year when he started his aliyah, you have to pick it up where he left off. You see him, you do 1 more psukim and you make the bracha. You have to add on 3 to that. You already left. You're going to call up someone else, and he's going to be Mashem Edvar Mamurim. So now, add to the Mishnah Berurah, but be careful. This whole thing, which is quite complicated, is now only if you don't have if there's no kohanim. Let's say the first guy was a kohen, and then he shekar actually psukim. That's where the mistake happened. Then the Levi made the bracha, and they realized what do you do now? The Levi doesn't start only from the place the kohen stopped. Don't go back and reread the 2 psukim of the kohen. Because now we have another thing to contend with. This is like a good chazar of everything. Because now you have to contend that if every time you have a kohen and now another kohen or a Levi, people think the first kohen was possible. He's a paganim. So I'm shem kishikikra Levi mirisha sefer. V'achar Levi. So Levi does not go back. Picks up from there. And then what happens after the Levi? So it's as if the first aliyah didn't exist. The Levi is ki'ilu the kohen. You just can't go backwards. Then we're going to have 2 aliyahs after that. Command the less adami, and that's the klal, that's the rule. The kriya of 2 psukim doesn't exist. That's why shouldn't he himself read? Someone else should. During the week, you cannot add on him. It looks like you're having now 4 aliyahs during the week, which you can't do. On Shabbos, it is better to have a different aliyah because you don't want the same person to read from the Torah 2 times. Some say even on Shabbos you do not have to go back. So we're seeing a bit intricate, but very important. And I guess probably the most common case is going to be where they roll up the Torah, and then, what happened? They only read 2 psukim. So then you're just going to open it up and continue. If you already made the bracha, as we saw, then you're going to run into an issue as you need to have a new bracha. We continue, and actually we conclude with Sivkat in Yudal. It says, Mishna Berurah, Parshas Amalek. Explains the Mishna Berurah, the whole of Parsha is 9 psukim, as we've seen. So halacha is you call up 9 for 9 psukim. So we see can be yotzim with 9. So we have a massive machlokes brewing here. Is what is the sum total li'ikuva for Kriyas HaTorah? When it came for each aliyah a moment ago, we learned there was no debate. 2 psukim is command a lesson to me, it's nothing. But now we're discussing what about the sum total? Is you need not 10 or it could be yotzim with 9. And the Kohen says no, not only does it not work by 9, you got to redo it and you got to have a new bracha. So quite a massive machlokes is brewing over here, whether you're going to make a new bracha. In this event, they only had 9 psukim. The Gaon is going to say yes. The Mishnah Berurah is quoting others that say no. Pachos mei tisha. We conclude with Mishnah Berurah Sivkatet as Vav over here. Hainu kishakaru kol echad shleisha psukim. Everyone reads 3 psukim. Elisha b'sacha kol lo yakim shemayin psukim. How do you have that? Kegayin sheshlishi kar pasuk echad m'sheish avel. If you went back 1 pasuk. So you have a 3-3-3, but it's 3-3-2 because you went back 1 pasuk. As we've seen extensively, command the less of them. Some say no, that b'diavad it's going to work. We'll see a shartzin in a second. Everyone had 3 psukim. You doubled up. Okay, but it's called 3 psukim. So let's just see one shartzion over here, an interesting shartzion. Shartzion Sivkata and Chof Dalid. Says the shartzion, commenting on this day in the Yishayim Diyata B'diavad, when the person went back 1 pasuk and read 3 psukim, including one before, and says the shartzion, this is a Magen Avraham Chayadim Shulchan Atzei Shitim. Ulamais, says the shartzion, Niras lanias daiti de'ein lohoyrois kain. We should not pass like this. The b'lavachi das like going upon him years and al dafiluim karates. Lo yatsa. The Kohen already holds test is not yotze. So now you have a double whammy. You have 9, and one of them is doubled up. Kohen holds we don't learn from Malek. Sham loiv shebach and Kain b'hay inyan and mafriya gam Kain lo nachlom man shemaimid sham nesham loev shabin yanacher lefiz afilu im bein kulam karasar psukim elisha shlishi kar dalit kar shnei psukim mafriya gam Kain lo yatsa. So the shartzion, a little bit uncharacteristically, doesn't really weigh in the Mishnah Berurah itself. In Mishnah Berurah, he leaves it as a yesh and a yesh, doesn't even give you an aval. But down here in the shartzion, he's telling you that lamaisa, what should you do? 9 psukim. If you doubled one up, you should not be seimich, you should not be yotze b'diavad. Why? Because the sheet of the Gaon is anyways, it doesn't work with 9. And he wants to even say that we shouldn't even if you have 10, but one was doubled, we also shouldn't be seimich in deference to the shita of the Gaon.